Acharya Shankara said in Aparoksa Anubhuti 1, Sri Harim Paramanandam, Updeshtaram Ishwaram, Vyapkam Sarvalokanam, Karanam Tam Namamyam. I bow down to Sri Hari, who is the Supreme Bliss, the first teacher, the Supreme Ruler, the All-pervading One, and the cause of this universe. I refers to the ego, that is Jiva in bondage, who identifies himself with the gross, subtle and causal budgies, undergoes various sufferings and strive for liberation. Brahman is the efficient as well as material cause of this universe. Just as a spider weaves its net from the material of its own body, so does Brahman creates this universe out of himself. Verse 2 says, Aparoksa Anubhutirve Prochite Moksha Siddhe Sadvidev Prayatnena Vikshniya Muhurmu. For acquisition of liberation from the bondage of ignorance, self-realization is spoken in detail. Only one with pure heart should constantly and with all efforts meditate upon the truth taught herein. The author of Bhamati, Pandit Vachaspati Misra, in his commentary on Brahma Sutra 3426, said that the knowledge regarding Brahman is of four types. First is Shravan, the knowledge at listening to the dictums of Upanishads is called Shravan, which removes all doubts about the means of valid knowledge, that is Brahman. Second type of knowledge is Manan, the conclusion of the knowledge that arises through reasoning about dictums of Upanishads heard previously is called reflection, Manan. Through this knowledge, the doubts about the subject to be known, Prameya, are removed. Third is Nididhyasan, deep thoughts that bath one in one's real self are called contemplation, dhyan or nididhyasan. All contrary thoughts cease when such contemplation becomes stable. Thereafter, the undivided supreme mental modification dawns because of the experience of fourth state, from which there remains no more obstacle or impediment for liberation. Fourth type of knowledge is Aparoksa Anubhuti. If that contemplation or nididhyasan is practiced with great devotion for a long time, without any break, the solid knowledge of the fourth state, which is of the form of immediate experience, Aparoksa Anubhuti, is manifested. That knowledge, at the very time of its commencement, bestows liberation to the aspirant by destroying his ignorance. The first three types of knowledge are of direct in nature and they fall under sadhana koti, whereas the fourth type is immediate knowledge called sadhikotika gyan. At that very moment, oneness of the manifested consciousness and that of the non-manifested substratum consciousness is also accomplished. This is the immediate or approx knowledge. For that reason, it has been mentioned that the Brahman to be known is inherent in knowledge itself. This undivided mental modification of the form of Brahman, Brahmakar Vritti, is called supreme modification. The purpose of mental modification is to break the covering of ignorance. Brahmakar Vritti breaks the covering of ignorance once for all. For this very reason, this is renowned as the supreme modification. The above knowledge are of two types, direct or pratyaks and immediate or aparoks. The knowledge consisting of intellectual modification is called direct knowledge. Since modifications of intellect are subject to destruction, it is non-eternal, anitya. It is caused by the proximity between the sense objects and sense organs, where anomalies such as happiness, sadness and the like arises. Again, the self, which is self-luminous, illuminating even the intellectual modifications, is of the nature of witness. It is the immediate experience, Aparoksa Anubhuti, at all times. It is eternal and it exists always in its real self. It is the oneness only of the subject consciousness with the object consciousness.